Back in 2011, Sonic celebrated his 25th anniversary, and to celebrate, Sonic Team put out one of their most anticipated games yet, Sonic Generations. This game would be celebrating every ounce of the series, with it not only bringing back the Sonic from 1991 to 1997, dubbed as Classic Sonic, but also would be bringing in levels from almost every mainline Sonic game up to that point, whether the game was universally loved or if it was universally despised. The game ended up releasing in November of 2011 to universal acclaim. Many people lauded it as the best Sonic game in years, and a true masterpiece through and through. However, I didn't know of any of this. In fact, I didn't play Sonic Generations until 10 years later, in the summer of 2021. I ended up picking up Sonic Generations on clearance for my PS3, and holy crap, this quickly became one of my favorite Sonic games. This sense of speed, the level design, the music, even at the time, I thought the story was pretty good. This was an amazing game to me. I spent countless hours over the summer, lowering my times, getting a good flow state, learning the insides and outsides of this game. However, it's been 5 years since I first played the game, and 15 years since the game first came out. Holy crap, the passage of time is insane. However, today I'm going to be talking about how the game still holds up in the modern day, and whether it's still the masterpiece everyone said it was. Spoiler alert, it is. The story of Sonic Generations sucks, no matter how you slice it. It starts with the Time Eater coming in and taking modern and classic Sonic into a white space, where all of Sonic's friends are trapped. Both of the Sonics team up with modern and classic Tails to restore the timeline that the Time Eater messed up, encountering previous locations and foes. In the end, it turns out Classic and Modern Eggman were controlling the Time Eater, and both Sonics go super and defeat the Eggman scheme. The game ends with everyone celebrating Sonic's birthday while Classic Sonic and Classic Tails go home. This story is insanely simple, but it works for an anniversary game. I'm not going to act like it couldn't have been better, but it can be forgiven due to the gameplay being genuinely some of the best in any game. Sonic Generations gameplay is a masterpiece. The game is split up into two kinds of levels. Act 1, where you play as Classic Sonic, which is a remastered version of the classic gameplay with tweaks to make it stand apart. Mainly, they changed the spin dash to be very overpowered, and it's insanely fun. I know a few people knock Classic Sonic in this game for not having accurate Genesis controls, but the thing is, I don't care. It's still insanely fun. Then there's Act 2, which is Modern Sonic, which gets a refined version of the boost gameplay from Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Colors. It takes the aspects of Colors and Unleashed that don't work, like the terrible drift in both games, the quick stepping on the analog stick in Colors, homing attack on Square in Unleashed, and chucks these terrible defects into the trash to make the best controlling Sonic all the way up until Shadow Generations. On top of that, it adds the air trick system from Sonic Rush, which automatically makes this game peak. Both of these gameplay styles run through 9 environments representing Sonic's past adventures. We got Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1, Chemical Plant from Sonic 2, Sky Sanctuary from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Speed Highway from Sonic Adventure, City Escape from Sonic Adventure 2, Seaside Hill from Sonic Heroes, Crisis City from Sonic 06, Rooftop Run from Sonic Unleashed, and lastly, Planet Wisp from Sonic Colors. Each level has multiple missions to complete with various tasks, for example, going through Rooftop Run on a snowboard. Then there are multiple boss fights, 3 rival fights, Metal Sonic from Sonic CD, Shadow from, SA2, and Silver from Sonic 06. The main boss fights, the Death Egg Robot from Sonic 2, Perfect Chaos from Sonic Adventure, and the Egg Dragoon from Sonic Unleashed. Then the final boss, the Time Eater. Oddly enough, Sonic Generations has the same problem as Sonic 2, with the end being kinda trash. What I mean is that Planet Wisp, the last level, is the worst set of levels, and the Time Eater is the worst supersonic boss fight in the series. Other than that, each level has different gimmicks and mechanics from their original games to shake up the gameplay. Classic Sonic's levels in this game are insanely fun. Starting off the game, you have Green Hill, which is a fun modernization of the original stage that started it all. There's multiple cool platforming moments and badnik bouncing, along with it introducing you to the perspective shifts that happen all the time in this game. After that, you go to Chemical Plant, which is a really solid stage. They play around a lot with rushing water, which makes the stage really fun to speedrun. Then you have Sky Sanctuary, which is really cool. The aesthetic is one of the best in the game. The perspective shifts are amazing. Running up the crumbling tower was one of the coolest things to pay homage to. On top of that, they even brought back the spinners from Marble Garden, which was really cool. Then you got Speed Highway, which is a really cool stage. You're jumping from helicopters, crashing into buildings, platforming on construction, rolling down slopes. It would have been the best classic Sonic stage if it wasn't for City Escape. City Escape is easily the best classic Sonic stage. First off, the Escape from the City remix is my favorite version of the song. On top of that, they brought in the unique gimmick of the gun truck chasing you throughout the entire stage, constantly blocking your path and destroying terrain. Also, they brought in a skateboard power-up, which is really fun to use. And the final chase with the gun truck crashing into that bridge is one of my favorite set pieces in the game. Seaside Hill is fine. It's kind of a fine water stage that takes elements from Hydrocity from Sonic 3 for some reason. However, the Ocean Palace boulder chase at the end of the stage is really cool, and I'm glad they brought it back. Then you got Crisis City. This one is really cool, specifically the fire tornado at the end of the stage that literally moves the goalpost away from you, which was a really cool surprise. Next is Rooftop Run. This is my third favorite classic stage. Climbing the clock tower is really cool, and has some really cool platforming moments. The underground with the wine cellars is really cool. You even get to platform on an Eggman ship, which is the closest thing I have to a modern egg fleet. Lastly, you get Planet Wisp, and I say you got it because I don't want it, you can have it. That's a pretty solid stage lineup already, and that's not talking about any of the modern Sonic stages, almost all of which completely run circles around the classic stages. Starting off with Green Hill Zone, this stage is near perfection. You have multiple different pathways, the fun trick sections, really fast-paced 2D, a section where you take a detour in a majestic-looking cave and get chased by a chopper. There's not much wrong with this stage. The high-octane energy is brought into Chemical Plant, which is really cool. At the start of the stage, there are 3 paths you can take, one having a very risky shortcut. There's cranes you can homing attack to skip rail grinding, there's multiple cool shortcuts to skip the bottom route, skydiving past chemicals, and in the last part of the stage, the whole Chemical Plant starts coming down, and it's a really cool set piece. Next you got Sky Sanctuary. Sky Sanctuary is beautiful. There's so many cool moments like smashing through glass, ziplining over the clouds, drifting up the crumbling spiral tower, and so many shortcuts and optimizations you can make in your run. Next up is Speed Highway. This stage is peak, man. There's thrilling speed running on the side of buildings as glass shatters around you, jumping onto helicopters, drifting through giant roads. It's one of the best city stages in all of Sonic. Speaking of cities, next up is City Escape. This one is really cool. You get the snowboard at the beginning of the stage, and you can do a ton of cool tricks, then you can cut loose through the park. However, the gun truck chase at the end of the stage is a little bit too long. Next is Seaside Hill. Easily the best stage in the game. So many alternate pathways that take you on the water, shooting out of cannons, they bring back the car from Heroes, and tons of trick ramps. Next is Crisis City, and it's another amazing stage. This one has a lot more platforming, which is really cool. It also brings back the Mach Speed section from the original game, which is really fun. Next up is Rooftop Run. This stage is peak. Running up the clock tower, drifting around tight corners, boosting through tight alleyways, all while having one of the best flow states in the entire Sonic series. Lastly is Planet Wisp. This stage is so sad. The beginning is one of the best Sonic stages. It's so open and freeing. It's one of the best 3D sections. However, a few minutes in, you get into a 2D section that lasts the rest of the stage, and it's kinda boring. You use the Rocket Wisp the whole time, which constantly halts the pace, and isn't very fun to use to begin with. However, Planet Wisp does not take away from this awesome roster of stages. The bosses are also pretty good in this game. Not all of them are winners. The Death Egg Robot and Metal Sonic are kinda generic, Shadow and Silver are kinda boring, the Time Eater is just straight up bad. However, Perfect Chaos and Egg Dragoon are some of the best boss fights in the series. They managed to make a high-speed fight that is really satisfying and isn't a pushover, while also having a decent bit of spectacle. The game, graphically, is pretty good for a game from 2011. Each and every single stage was meticulously redesigned to be probably the best looking version of each stage. Green Hill ends up emphasizing the waterfalls, Chemical Plant gets destroyed partway through, and that looks great. Sky Sanctuary genuinely might be one of the best looking Sonic stages of all time. Planet Wisp took a game that was a year old and made it look 1,000 times better. Crisis City took 06, which was a great looking game on the same console as Generations, and also made it 1,000 times better. They just made a great looking game, along with the character models looking really good as well. The soundtrack is also amazing, with tons of amazing remixes from across the series. You can't name a single bad song in the game. They remix so many of the series' best. They have a great remix of Supersonic Racing that literally uses Sega Saturn advertisement clips in it. There's a great remix of Open Your Heart. The best versions of City Escape, Rooftop Run, Seaside Hill. There are so many great remixes in this one. Too many to count. Sonic Generations is a masterclass in platforming. Each and every ounce of this game is just oozing with passion and fun. The levels are some of my favorite in any Sonic game. The control of classic and modern Sonic is masterfully done. The soundtrack is one of the best in gaming. It's the definitive anniversary title, especially if you end up picking up this game with Shadow Generations nowadays. It's clear why everyone praises this as one of Sonic's best titles. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe check out my video talking about Shadow Generations after this, or my one talking about Frontiers, or SA2, or you could just look at all of them. I'm not complaining. But yeah, that's all from me. Peace.